Hey guys, welcome back to my series on how to do large-scale real estate developments. In the first couple parts of this series, I went over the overview of the 4 functions that you need to do large-scale real estate development. The last segment, I went over the first function, how to find deals, and this is a follow-up to that part, how to recognize that the deals you find are actually deals worth doing. So stay tuned. All right, so you've done the work, you've done the marketing, you've done the prospecting, you've talked to hundreds of sellers, and you finally got some that you think are a good deal. Well, how do you know it's actually a good deal? Well, it's actually a pretty simple formula. You just gotta make sure you do it right. All right, so anytime you go into a real estate deal, you know what your acquisition cost is, right? The price that you're buying it. Well, you also have to factor in the transaction cost associated with that acquisition cost. So just because you're buying a property for $1 million, it doesn't mean it's gonna actually cost you $1 million to buy it. There could be taxes, there could be insurance cost, agent cost, bank costs, all sorts of things. You need to add all of that up and get your true acquisition cost. The second cost you need to really nail down is your improvement cost. All right, this is one you're gonna really wanna spend some time researching. If you're not a builder, if you're not a general contractor, hire a good builder or general contractor, or partner with a good builder or general contractor and really build out a conservative cost analysis on how much it will cost to do the improvements you need to do. This is going to include not just the building cost and the actual, cost per square footage, but the soft costs. What are you gonna have to pay architects? What are you gonna have to pay engineers? What are the permitting fees going to be? When you finally get all of these numbers together and have what you think is your true improvement cost, it's important to add a contingency. In a previous day and age, I used to advise people to do 10%. Now, make that 20%, even 25%. You wanna build in a buffer because we've had issues in the last year with the supply chain, with inflation. It's better to be conservative and do less deals so you avoid doing a bad one. So build in a big contingency. Get what you think your true costs are gonna be, add another 20 to 25%. And this is going into the third cost, the holding cost. Factor in a longer time. Supply chains are taking longer. It's taking longer to get supplies, taking longer to get crews. So, if you think it's gonna be a 6-month build, factor in 10 months. You gotta bake in your holding cost. So you obviously know your acquisition cost, you know your improvement cost now. What's it gonna cost every month to hold that? How much are you gonna have to pay interest to the bank and to investors? And make sure you have a lot of runway. I want you to have at least 6 extra months when you're doing your performance. Finally, you're gonna have your sales cost. How much can you sell the deal for at the end? And then make sure you subtract out the transaction costs associated with that. So that could be taxes, agent commissions, grantor fees, any costs associated with selling. Net that out of your final sales cost. Now you have a simple formula, right? You've got your acquisition cost, your improvement cost, your holding cost, that's your total expenses. You subtract that from the net after you sell it, and that's your profit. I want you to shoot for deals where you have at least a 25% return above your cost. So if the deal is gonna cost you $1 million all in to do, I want you to be able to at least sell that deal for 1,250, a 25% profit margin. And remember, like I said in part 1 of this video, have multiple exit strategies. If the market turns, make sure it works as a long-term rental, as a short-term rental. The more exit strategies you have, the more protection you have, and the more ability you have to make money no matter what the market is doing. Stay tuned for the next part where I'm gonna discuss the all-important procedures of how to fund the deals once you find a good one and are able to evaluate it and know that it's gonna make money.